Hello, everybody. What I want to talk about is the astronaut Don Pettit. He's got a quote that's going around that's been pretty viral that people cite in their videos. You know, a lot of people who do research on the Apollo program or on moon landings. And this astronaut Don Pettit, he's actually, he's been ISS space station commander. And he talks about how he would love to go back to the moon, but we've destroyed that technology, and it would be a really hard thing to get it back and put all that technology back together again so we could go to the moon. In other words, they don't consider that it's important to go back to the moon enough that they actually destroyed the technology. But then he says one word that I think is confusing. He says, it's a painful process is what people said he said, but I think he said papal process, as in permission from the Pope. Because let's look at it real quick. Watch this. Here's the clip of his speech. Now watch it. It's very short.
Might go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Okay, did you hear that? Now, did he say painful process or papal process? Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I grew up around here at NASA. So I grew up, if you look on a map, I grew up South Houston in the Friendswood area, north of Friendswood into the Pearland area, and then friends lived over here in Clear Lake. I'm in Clear Lake now. Seabrook, over to Alvin. This whole area was a big church area when I was a little kid for the Mormon church that was growing. And most of the LDS, Latter-day Saint, Mormon people that came in this area were in the space program. You know, one of my mother's best friend's husbands became a space shuttle manager, and he was deputy manager of the shuttle program. He went to JPL. He's a JPL grad, and he came from Pasadena, California. And I worked in varsity scouts with a man named Ron Dittemore. If you remember when the space shuttle Columbia exploded over Louisiana and East Texas, he was the one in charge of the orbiter project. That's what they call the space shuttle in NASA, is the orbiter project. He was manager of the orbiter project, so he was the one on TV reporting about what happened. And then he left there and went to Utah. I believe he went to Rocketdyne. He may be retired now for all I know. But Ron Dittemore and I worked together on varsity scouts in our church ward, which is kind of like a parish in the Catholic way, our congregation. And so I remember guys at church used to say papal process all the time. So when I first heard this quote from Don Pettit, I heard papal process, meaning it's so hard to get approved, nobody's going to want to do it. You're not going to get funding or any permission. It's not going to fit the agenda of any of the higher ups, and you're wasting your time. It's a papal process. That's a papal process. So, but people started reposting this video quote, and they were saying painful. So I got this little clip, and I've been watching it over and over again. I watched his mouth phonetically to see. He has a little speech uniqueness where he talks a little bit different, where he hangs his speech off of his teeth on the right side of his mouth when he's talking. So he almost says painful. I've stopped the camera right there, and I can see his teeth like he's doing the F. But if you turn your head away and you rewind it, he's saying papal. So let me know your opinion here. Let's listen to it again. Now watch. I know right where the spot is.
It's a painful process to build it back again. It's a painful process to build. It's a painful process to build. It's a painful process. It's a painful process. It's a painful process to build it. It's a painful process to build it back. It's a painful process.
That sounds like papal to me.
It's a painful process to build it back again. It's a painful process to build it back. It's a painful process. It's a painful process to build it. It's a painful process to build it back. It's a painful process to build it back. It's a painful process to build it back again.
So let me know, what do you think? I hear papal. The first time I heard it, I heard him say papal process. And now I hear him saying papal process. So I understand people not knowing that terminology, not growing around it with insiders at NASA. You might not even know the term papal process or why that seems to go around as a buzzword amongst leadership in NASA. But you can see why if you've done some investigations into the Apollo program and you know that NASA is a division of a certain department, which is a division of a government, which is a division of Uniform Commercial Code, which is a division of the law of waters, sitting on many waters, the Admiralty Maritime Law, which is the Vatican, where all corporations are registered as dead entities. So when you get, it's kind of like one of those discussions where when you get into the Admiralty Maritime Law discussions of who actually runs NASA, Don Pettit is telling the truth here. I think that it would actually have to be like a mandate from the Pope to go back and reestablish all the technology to go say we went back to the moon again. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I just out of my mind? But I can remember being in a varsity scout meeting with Ron Dittemore and him saying, maybe I promoted some idea we would do at the scouts that would be too much money, or it was dangerous, or parents wouldn't like it, or the bishop wouldn't like it, or we weren't going to get any funding from the church. And I remember him saying, oh, that's going to be a papal process. And I remember asking, what is a papal process? Because I'd heard it, but he explained it to me. It just means it's not going to get done because people upstairs, it's not on their agenda, or they're not going to pay for it. So we're just wasting our time. So anyway, let me know what you think. Please comment down below. I will see you guys when I post another video. Thank you and goodbye.